Let's be candid with each other. The real reason you want to start a business with a partner is fear. You simply lack the confidence to do it on your own. Whatever skill, experience, or expertise you think that you have to have, you can hire it instead of taking on a partner. Welcome to a fireside chat with Darren Hardy. And yes, that constitutes a fire when you are broadcasting from Miami Beach. In this fireside chat, I'm going to address the topic of business partnerships. Should you start a business with a partner? And if so, how to do it right so your life doesn't become a living hell and cost you a king's ransom. Man, oh man, I just wish somebody sat down with me long ago to give me the advice that I'm going to give you now. So much pain and anguish and fortune could have been saved. So partnerships. You already know that 50% of marriages end in divorce, right? Well, it's worse for business partnerships. The number is nearly 80%, and that is without the benefit of makeup sex. Look, when you force two or more human beings into tight quarters where they have to agree, get along, play nice, and stay committed to each other over a long period of time, especially when money, title, recognition, ego, fear, danger, and rewards are at stake, it is not a matter of if it will go bad, only when, and just how bad. No matter how close you are to the partner you want to bring on and how in love and committed you are to each other. Now, there are thousands of unintended and unexpected dynamics that will come up that will trigger the fight or flight threat response in one of you, and mayhem will ensue. And hail hath no fury like a partner scorned. Trust me. Let's be candid with each other. The real reason you want to start a business with a partner is fear. You simply lack the confidence to do it on your own. Whatever skill, experience, or expertise you think that you have to have, that you're bringing a partner on for, you can hire it instead of taking on a partner. Now, hey, look, I get the fear thing that you have. I've been there. Entrepreneurship is lonely and tough enough on your own. At least having a partner going through it with you gives you someone else's shoulder to cry on. But I promise you that comfort will eventually turn into pain, resentment, anger, and bitterness. Like it or not, believe me or not, and it will most likely end in the failure of the business. Now, in full disclosure, of the 12 companies that I've built, 9 of them were with partners, and many of those ventures were very, very successful. But still, hear me here. I would still tell you, if I had to do it over again, if I were giving you wise, experienced, battle-proven advice, having been there and done that, I would vehemently advise you against having partners. And so would any experienced and veteran business builder. If you don't believe me, just go ask them. Even those who are in rare, successful business partnerships would still advise you against it, and also vehemently. Just understand, the probability that anger-inducing problems will arise are just far too great. I know here that you think that yours will be the exception. I know that you believe wholeheartedly that you're gonna make it work. And I know my giving you this advice is like a parent trying to convince their 19-year-old daughter that what she thinks is forever love just isn't. And just like there's nothing you can say to that young idealistic girl that will still want to make the wrong-headed decision no matter what you say, I know that there's probably nothing I can say to you to talk you out of the decision you're about to make or have already made. I understand that. And I understand using reason, logic, and probabilities and statistics are not going to work with you either. But you are here seeking my advice. And it is my duty to myself so that I can sleep peacefully at night, knowing that I gave it to you straight, that I tried, that I at least did my part. And when, and I do mean when, that eventuality happens, I will take no pleasure in having you have to tell me that I told you so. I'm just saying that up front. So then, if you are still, in fact, insistent, which you probably are, let me at least help you structure your partnership relationships correctly so that when the shoe does drop, you won't lose your leg with it. You know, the one connected to the butt cheek that carries your wallet. Here are 7 reasons why partnerships fail and how to attempt to prevent it. Number 1, you're too similar. The reason why you like each other is probably because you are like each other. While that sounds like a good thing, it's a very, very bad thing for your partnership. What a good partnership needs are contrasting strengths, talents, and personalities. You need a divide and conquer partner. One partner is, let's say, expert at and loves doing one thing, and the other is not so adept at that thing and actually hates doing it, and then vice versa. You need to mark off territories that each of you can be boss man or boss woman of, and the other stays the hell out of that territory. If you put two lions in the same cage, it's just a matter of time before one even accidentally steps on the other's tail and a death brawl ensues. Number 2, you're too close. If you've been close friends before getting into business together, I know that sounds like a good thing, but it's a very, very bad thing for your business partnership. People who knew you when, who are comfortable teasing and being insolently sarcastic with you, like good friends are with each other, which are actually expressions of trust and acceptance between friends, that is not good in a business relationship. Not good at all. It won't be good while in the trenches of your business battles, and it will be especially bad in the witness of your team. As you know, familiarity breeds contempt. Number 3, commitment imbalance. You might start out with the partners being fully 100% committed and immersed, but that will change. Life happens. Somebody will have a baby or more children or grandchildren or in-law troubles or spouse troubles or personal finance troubles or health issues. Again, it's not if, just who, what, and when. And when one person is not pulling their same weight, resentment breeds. Even if you don't think it will, it will. It's just human. Number 4, decision-making process. Oh, make no mistake about it, you will disagree and you will have impasses. And those impasses will mark the beginning of the end if you don't have a formalized process for making decisions. Who has ultimate authority if you reach stalemates, and by what process do these stalemates get resolved? Decide the decision-making process before emotionally charged decisions have to be made. And number 5, crisis response. Abraham Lincoln said, if you want to see a man's character, give him power. I would say, if you want to see a man or a woman's character, give them a crisis. You really don't know someone until you see them under extreme stress and lying flat on their keister. Or as Mike Tyson put it, everybody's tough until they get punched in the face. It's very likely you will not handle and respond to a crisis the same. The grit, the emotional resilience, the patience, and risk tolerance are likely to be very different between partners. And that difference will create a crisis of its own, one likely greater than the original and far more fatal. And by the way, if you are building a business, you will go through many crises. Like the roller coaster ride, there are many exhilarating peaks, but also an equal number of terror-inducing dips. Everyone is jubilant during the peaks, but the dips are likely to break the more fragile than you realize bonds of your partnership. And number 6, conflicting visions. The business you will start will not be the business it will become. Your business will evolve, if not completely pivot, probably into something right now you cannot even envision. So regardless of how much you align with the current vision you have for the business, the visions you will have for its evolving and changing future will likely not be the same. And then the problems begin. And number 7, to no fault of any partner, you don't just have you and your partner's ego and emotions at play, but you have all the people around all of you as well at play. Often it's not the partners who have conflict with each other until the spouses or the parents or the cousins or the father-in-law or the golf buddy who's an attorney starts whispering in the ear of one of the partners. I've seen some of the most courageous, strong-minded people absolutely kowtow to the insistent demands of their spouse or their father-in-law's advice or the recommendations of their therapist or the guilt prodding of their priest, rabbi, or whoever. So what do you do with all that I've just told you? Because I know that I've painted a pretty grim picture here. Because in all probability, it is grim. I repeat, don't tell me I didn't tell you. But if you are still insistent to take on a partner or partners, you absolutely must have a prenup, or what is called a partnership agreement. Here is what should be in your partnership agreement so that you get it right. Write this down and then get it done no matter what. Number one, the financial commitment. Who is putting in what money at what valuation in exchange for what consideration? How will that money be used, and how will it be repaid or realized in unequal equity between the partners? Number two, property contribution. Is anyone bringing land or a building or computer applications or goodwill or process designs or intellectual property to the partnership? Those need to be identified, valued, and given consideration up front. Number three, division of work. To address two of the problems that I discussed earlier, marking off territory and defining commitment. Number four, setup. How will the formation documents be set up? Whose names will be on what? How will the bank accounts be set up and the transaction permissions be given? How is the financial accounting, controls, reporting, and reviews going to be handled? Number six, income. What actually constitutes income? Decide now when and how you get paid and how much based on the financial statistics, health, and metrics of the company. Number seven, decision and disputes. To handle the other problem I've already discussed, how will stalemates and impasses be resolved? Spell this out and make it a formal process. 8, crisis. What happens if there's a death, a divorce, or if one partner becomes incapacitated or wants to leave? Number 9, future partners. How will additional investors, partners, or employee equity situations be handled? Figure that out now. And the biggie, the big biggie, number 10, buyout. This is deciding exactly what happens in the divorce. Now, absolutely critical. Here are a few key points on the buyout clause. Number 1, who can buy out one of the partners? Is it limited to just one of the other partners, or will it include third-party outsiders? Number 2, how will the valuation of the partner's interest be assessed? What will be the exact valuation methods used to determine the price that will be paid and what their payout terms and timeline will be? And the payout clause should also stipulate whether or not a partner has to be bought out and what specific events would trigger that forced required buyout. And the last thing I will say on this partnership issue, even if you do bring on partners, between you and me, never give up more than 49%. Always maintain 51% or more. There has to be a majority. Someone, as in an individual, has to be the leader, the decider. The only way to create equity is through there being a known and formal inequity. If it's equal, then the partnership is always subject to suspicion, fear, ego, and threat vulnerability. I know that you will argue this in your head about equality and fairness, and I am telling you through experience here, not just the experience of business partnerships, but the experience of human psychology. The only way to create and maintain fairness is if everyone from the beginning realizes and agrees that it is not equal. Let me say it again. The only way to create equality and civility is through there being a known inequality. A tribe needs an alpha. Do not expect that you are going to counteract 200,000 years of survival psychology with a 50-50 or co-anything. If everyone is comfortable with who controls 51% up front, then it is way more likely everyone will remain comfortable thereafter. 50-50 is just doomed to fail. I'm just saying, listen or don't, hear me or don't. I told you that I would tell it to you straight. No holds barred. The truth is often hard to accept, but the choice to accept it is all yours. It's your life. It's your business. Do what you want. Well, I don't know about you, but I know that I will certainly sleep good tonight. For the few who will heed this advice, albeit not the news you probably wanted, you too can sleep good tonight knowing you just regained chunks of your life and bank account that you would have lost to pain, suffering, and anguish. And for those of you who are going to marry no matter what, well, the best of luck to you. But please, I implore you, as unromantic as it might sound, get your prenup, as in partnership agreement, ironclad. At the very least, it will strengthen your partnership by having to talk through and agree upon all those issues together up front. I promise you will thank me for all this later, whether your partnership is successful or not. Okay then. Thank you for joining me, and bye-bye for now.